This evening, Panorama dazzles, woos, and entertains. Physically challenged, the mother trapped in house blaze, and March Soca Monarch remains with last year's winner. In the region, trade with Colombia continues as Venezuela blocks aid, and internationally, Sri Lankans are migrating to the UK illegally using fake passports. Greetings to our viewers in Guyana and around the world. Today is Monday, February 18, 2019. And this edition of the Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook and YouTube pages. I am Wendell Jeffrey, and I thank you for joining us. Over the weekend, the 57-year-old stroke victim was unable to escape the blaze which gutted her home. She perished as a result. Esther Sobers went to Mon Repos and filed this report.
An elderly woman perished in an early morning blaze. 57-year-old Yowani Says-Narain, also known as Auntie Daughter, a mother of three, lost her life early Saturday morning as she was trapped in her home when the fire occurred. Says-Narain lived with her daughter in the upper flat at her two-story wooden house at Block 8, Mon Repos, East Coast, Demerara, while other family members occupied the lower flat. At the time of the incident, the disabled woman was home alone in the upper flat. At Says-Narain's home, the fire completely gutted the house. Yesterday, 3 fire tenders had rushed to the scene, but they were unable to save the house. One of Says-Narain's neighbors, who was at home at the time of the fire, recounted what transpired on that fatal night.
I got a phone call from my mom saying that Auntie Daughter's house was on fire. And I end up and I speed down. I came down in a taxi, me and my children. And we just see everybody just standing up outside. So I know earlier in the morning I was here by my mom, and Melissa, she's lived with Auntie Daughter, she mother. She's live upstairs with her. So she went out in the morning.
The other occupants of the home tried to save the woman, but those efforts were futile.
She was basically helpless. But we can't say if, it was premeditated or whatsoever. I can't say what the other sister did, but from what I heard, she heard things falling down, right? And she came out and ran outside with her children after she see the upstairs on fire. Apparently she said her husband tried to go to save her mother, but he couldn't make it. He said the flames was too much, the heat was too much. So there's just it. But Melissa wasn't at home at the time.
Investigations are ongoing into the cause of the fire which led to the woman's death. The fire also left other family members, including 3 children, homeless. About 2 weeks ago, a fire of unknown origin killed an 8-month-old toddler who was asleep in a room while the fire destroyed his family home at Agriculture Road, Mon Repos. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
How sad. Thank you, Esther. March is in the air, and equally associated with these annual events are the tight competitions which go with them, particularly the Soca Monarch competition. At the National Park on Saturday night, there were some upsets, both to the pleasure and chagrin of the revelers. Bibi Bacchus tells us more.
In the wee hours of Sunday morning, the curtains came down on the Carib Soca Monarch 2019 competition at the National Park tarmac, with reigning champion Brandon Harding retaining his title. The Lindoner walked away with the coveted title and $1.5 million after his stunning performance of Alone. When asked if he was surprised, he said,
"No, I wasn't surprised, but I put in the work, so I was hoping that the hard work would pay off, Well, for me, to be honest, my only competition was myself, overcoming, the feeling.
Newcomer Stephen Ramphal placed second with his performance Soca in my Vein. Stephen carted off with $750,000 for cupping the second spot, while he also received another $100,000 for Best Newcomer. Coming in third was Vintage, who performed Soca King, and in fourth position was the 3-time Soca Monarch, Jomo Rubber Waist Primo. Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Thank you, Bibi. Please don't go away. Coming up after the break, 2019 Panorama competition ends with massive celebration as favorite wins and Handyman's alleged killers apprehended by police. We also have regional and international news highlights. But first, here are today's foreign currency exchange rates.
For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
Hello, baby. Yeah.
It's knocked away from Yang Huang.
Yo, why you gotta get away from the credit, buddy? I recommend that you from blah blah. Let me actually gain, but it's not you that buy back the credit when it's done. Buy back because she money from Fab 5.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Wait. So who we putting as we Fab 5? Yours.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Listen and hear me good. It's Mashroman in Guyana, and Clearance got this big mash down sale. Thursday the 24th and Friday the 22nd of February. Half off night sneakers. 25% off men's short pants, jeans, jerseys, caps, and selected slippers. 25% off Kenneth Cole and Levi's. Half off selected ladies' jeans, tops, dresses, rompers, loafers, sandals, sneakers. Remember, Thursday the 24th and Friday the 22nd of February. Yes! Clearance, mash down the price for mash! Clearance, always keeping you in style.
Hi, Sean. You buy up a lot of KFC.
Yeah. This is my lunch, 9 pieces.
With more of my 34 pieces.
34? No. Don't know because and problems since last December. Enough more coming too.
In the Caribbean Court of Justice.
No, at the National Culture Center.
What happened in there?
Link show 34 from the 1st to the 4th of March.
Tickets $2,000, $1,500 and $1,000 at KFC outlets at Regent and King Streets and Mandela Avenue and the National Cultural Center.
Welcome back. Last week, after an alcohol drinking spree in Samata Point, One friend lay dead. Some say that the brawl was over a woman who is believed to have had both men. Now the police say that they have the killer and his accomplice in custody. Here again is Esther Sobers.
Slain Samata Point handyman Rohan Prasad was killed allegedly over a woman, as police were able to apprehend 3 suspects, one of whom is a remigrant from Venezuela. According to Kaiser News, the police said that one of the suspects admitted to fighting with Prasad shortly before the laborer's demise. It is alleged that Prasad confronted the suspect after learning that a woman whom they drank with was also having sexual relationship with his friends. Prasad's body was found next to an alleyway at Samata Point Grove, East Bank, Danrara, with stab wounds to his lower abdomen. Before his death, neighbors claimed to have last seen Prasad alive imbibing with 2 men. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thank you, Esther. Something caused a huge spike in the attendance at the 2019 Panorama competition. At one point, the security had to stop patrons from entering the compound. However, those who packed the Cliff Anderson Sports Complex got their money's worth and some. The judges had no easy task as the Cliff Anderson Sports Complex came alive yesterday evening when the Department of Social Cohesion, Culture, Youth and Sport presented Mashramani Panorama 2019. All the bands lived up to the expectation of their supporters, but it was the Guyana Police Force band that stole the show. They performed in the large band category and played the popular Jumo Primo's arrangement titled Tribute. Parkside Steel Orchestra, all bedecked in their lily white attire, brought second in the large band competition. The second place in the small bands competition went to President's College, but it was the Dolphin Secondary School Steel Orchestra conducted by Demain Gibbs who won in that category. The second place for the youth band went to the West Demerara Secondary School. And the winner in that youth section was the Maikoni Secondary School. Jumo Primo made a brief appearance at the competition. Primo wrote the song Tribute that several of the steel bands played. It was the sentiment of the patrons and organizers that this year's Panorama competition was arguably the largest ever, with the organizers remarking that they might have outgrown the sports hall facility. Don't go away after the break. Trade with Colombia continues as Venezuela blocks U.S. aid, and questions swirled as Sri Lankans enter the UK using fake passports. But before that, here is this week's bridge retraction schedule.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Listen and hear me good. It's Matrimony in Guyana, and Clarence got this big mash down sale. Thursday the 24th and Friday the 22nd of February. Half off night sneakers. 25% off men's short pants, jeans, jerseys, caps, and selected slippers. 25% off Kenneth Cole and Levi's. Half off selected ladies' jeans, tops, dresses, rompers, loafers, sandals, sneakers. Remember, Thursday the 24th and Friday the 22nd of February. Yes! Clearance, mash down the price for mash! Clearance, always keeping you in style.
Hi, Sean. You buy up a lot of KFC.
Yeah. This is my lunch, 9 pieces.
With all of my 34 pieces.
34? No. Don't know because of problems since last December. Enough more coming too.
In the Caribbean Court of Justice.
No, at the National Culture Center.
What happened in there?
Link show 34 from the 1st to the 4th of March.
Tickets $2,000, $1,500 and $1,000 at KFC outlets at Regent and King Streets and Mandela Avenue and the National Cultural Center.
Switch over to GTT right now, no. Because all this time and money I waste on a cars alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place.
Really?
Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen 4 can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
And welcome back. Now for regional news. A single shipment of aid has taken the spotlight in the ongoing political crisis in Venezuela. President Nicolas Maduro has blocked food and medical supplies sent by the United States. Maduro is saying that the U.S. is attempting to undermine his authority. While that shipment remains stranded in Colombia, trade between the two countries continue. More from Al Jazeera, Alejandro Rampati in Cúcuta.
The image of oil tankers and shipping containers blocking this bridge on the Colombian border has become the symbol of the standoff for control of Venezuela. President Nicolás Maduro remains firm in his opposition to allowing the food and medical supplies from the United States into his country. But the reality of the border is more complex than the blocking of a single bridge. Every night at 8 o'clock, the last Venezuelans hastily make their way home over two other bridges in the city of Cúcuta. They're open to foot traffic during the day, and as they shut down at night, trucks filled with products appear. What do you carry?
Azúcar.
Sugar is the answer. Last September, Venezuela halted exports to Colombia but kept importing much-needed goods. Shipping agents say the Venezuelan government uses cooperatives to buy food from Colombia and then distributes it in food boxes for the poor. We've counted 10 trucks lining up on this bridge alone. They carry food, medicine, soap, chemicals, among other things. And exporters tell us that on a single night, as many goods can enter into Venezuela as the aid being blocked here in Cúcuta. And some of the products being brought or being used in the same way that aid might be used. At this warehouse, we found food kits being prepared to be shipped to an independent organization quietly providing aid inside Venezuela. Exporter Yesid Sarmiento says that the U.S. aid could also be imported legally, just like any import, but there's a reason it isn't being allowed in.
I know it sounds paradoxical. They talk about a blockade, and the media shows that bridge, but on the other two bridges, merchandise goes through. The issue with the aid is political. We could find a foundation willing to import it, and we could do it legally. If they force it in, the Venezuelan government could argue that it's contraband and confiscate it.
Colombia's foreign ministry says trade with Venezuela has fallen more than 90% in a decade, and that the aid should simply be let in.
In 4 years working at this border, I've seen the tragedy of thousands and thousands of kids and sick people in terrible conditions. I'm convinced that there is no other option but helping the people in need. Humanity should be above any political and diplomatic tensions.
But with neither side in Venezuela appearing willing to negotiate, the aid shipment on the border will remain the flashpoint of the growing political struggle. Alessandro Rampietti, Al Jazeera, Cúcuta.
And internationally, a community leader has told Sky News that the vast majority of Sri Lankans immigrants arriving in Britain are entering the country on fake passports. Reports are that because it is so difficult to get a visa to enter the UK, the Tamil people are fleeing persecution and they are seeing the fake documents that are sold by the criminals as the only option. Sky News' Lisa Holland reports.
Sri Lankans living in Britain say it used to be easy to get a visa to come here and stay, but not anymore. At this South London temple, many of the worshippers are struggling with asylum issues. But we've discovered a growing number have something else in common. According to community leaders, the vast majority of new arrivals are now getting into the country on fake passports.
I would probably say 80 to 85% come in fake passport.
Of people arriving in Britain right now,
yeah,
coming on fake passports.
That's right.
That's a huge figure.
Yeah, because they are really scared. They just want to escape.
And the new arrivals hope Brexit can offer job opportunities currently filled by Europeans. Arul Seeley Threetharan does odd jobs at the temple as she's unable to work and speaks no English. She came on a fake passport 6 months ago. She told us she had to leave Sri Lanka because her Tamil fiancé was wanted by the authorities. She says there are many more like her trying to reach Britain on fake documents. So my contacts in the Sri Lankan community have told me about a group of men who all came to the UK on fake passports. They are working illegally, doing mechanical work, and they are trying to make ends meet by doing cash in hand jobs. Here they are. Out of sight of the authorities, the group are fixing cars behind a friend's garage in London. Umaraj has been here the longest and arranges the work for the others who arrived last summer. How much money do you make fixing cars?
Some people give me the good money, some people no, I think.
How much do you make a week?
A week, £100.
Across Britain, there's a whole layer of society trying to survive whilst living illegally, like Thavaraja and Kali, also from Sri Lanka. They live in a single room with their 2 children.
Everything is here, cooking, sleeping, studying, playing, everything here. It's very, very hard for me. And kids also ask me when they go to home, when they go to proper bed, when they got the proper food. When they ask me food, it's very hard for me. As a mother, it's very hard.
The whole family sleeps on an old door covered with blankets.
How many spiders there? 1, 2.
The children, Sainash and Sajana, were both born in Britain and can't understand why their lives are so different to their school friends, who they are ashamed to invite round.
They talk about their friends' home, friends' car, friends' lifestyle and our lifestyle. So I said we have to wait. They asked me how long, how long. One of the day my son asked me, Mommy, my friend want to come my home. I said no.
Thavaraja has been in Britain for nearly 20 years. Both he and Kali have had their asylum applications refused, but use expired Home Office documents to access healthcare. They say they want to be able to work and pay taxes.
Do you think Brexit is going to provide opportunities for you?
Yes, it's good thing. Good thing.
Why?
I can go work. Everything after that easy.
You think it will mean there's going to be more work for you?
Yes.
There are hundreds, even thousands of new arrivals in the past year from this one community alone, coming into Britain on fake passports. There's no evidence to suggest Brexit will change the status of those living illegally, but they're clinging to the hope Britain's exit from the EU could provide the opportunity to forge a new life without having to hide in the shadows for decades, like many of their predecessors have been forced to do. Lisa Holland, Sky News.
And here are your 3-day weather forecasts. And rounding out our newscast this evening, at a simple and elegant ceremony yesterday, Channel 2 Headline News Editor-in-Chief George Gregory Gonzalez Jr. married his sweetheart Anicia Princess Rosie Joseph. We, the staff and employees at this outfit, would like to wish George and his new bride Anicia a long, happy, and prosperous married life. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for February 18, 2019. And as we take our leave, we invite you to join Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in at 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast and tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. for fresh news. For now, I am Wendell Jeffrey signing out from your newscast and thanking you for welcoming us into your home. Do have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.